Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you all according to your time and locations you'll be watching this video. Yes, my dear viewers, I am back again with another update. So guys, I have a video here I would like we all to watch. But before then, if you're meeting my channel for the very first time, you're highly welcome. Please kindly do well to like, share and subscribe. Leave your thought on the comment section. Let us know what you think about this video and I will see you towards the end.
I'm joined now in the studio by the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, or PDP, Ibrahim Abdullahi. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Mr. Charles, for having me.
And of course, your party, the PDP, has called what happened in Adamawa State an attempted civilian coup. Tell us more about how you see it and the brazenness of that electoral coup.
Well, thank you, Mr. Charles. For the PDP, this came as a surprise because 24 years ago, we thought we had seen the back of the military. And we had assumed the number of political interventions by the military. We have had, as at the last count, over 10 interventions to truncate either counter coup or coup against a democratically elected government. And the last time I counted, we had 10 until what we saw yesterday, even though it ended as an attempt. No one would have believed, and PDP does not as well, that in a democracy that is as flowering as ours, 25 or 24 years after, and the longest we have had since the independence in 1960, it was not going to be a belief of something that Nigerians will accept. But we saw it with all the brazenness like you described, like Nigerians are describing. We are still yet to come out of the shock, the monumental shock that this has brought in Nigeria. And we are watching to see in the aftermath of the coup, because the matter is sub judice, we don't want to speak too much about it. But indeed, we want to see how APC will explain to Nigerians why it conspired, because we believe it's a conspiracy from, the presidency downward for all of that to happen. And so PDP is in shock, in total despair, in amazement. We cannot come to terms up until this minute, even as we are greeted by the euphoria, of the moment. Nigerians have celebrated it in quarters, in the banks, everywhere. You will not believe this morning in a citadel of learning where I was having discussion with some enlightened minds. They were saying that this woman, and I did hear you mention that when you were discussing with the spokesman from Adamawa, that this woman has brought her political career to a sudden end. Indeed, she was a popular politician. I said was because not anymore with the act yesterday. The haphazardness, the haste with which she rushed to accept, the victory, leaves much to be desired. And if you cannot see the hand of Esau in all of this, then I don't know what you do. But clearly speaking, from the electoral umpire itself and the government of the day, we smell rat. We've seen the conspiracy. We know that there was grand design to rob the people of Adamawa of their hard-earned mandate, which they have eventually given to the rightful owner.
Right. Well, the APC obviously disputes that suggestion from you. We just heard the spokesman from the Binani campaign organization. They've fixed Aishatu Binani's case for April 26th in the courts. The start of the process, because I expect it'll be a process. Does she have a case, or is it just a waste of time in your assessment?
Well, I would not, as a person that respects our law, call it a waste of time. But your guess is as good as mine when a matter of this nature, like we earlier said in the background, like I stated earlier, does not reconcile. Common sense will tell you that this is not only a waste of time, but this is an exercise in futility, because the people of Adamawa have spoken. In the first poll which he referred to when he was speaking, he talked about not satisfied with even the outcome of the first election before the inconclusion was pronounced. That was a party, PDP, leading with 35,000 before even the run that held, day before yesterday. So I wouldn't know. In the polling units that were in contention, PDP was popular in all of them, except two, where we supposedly would describe as to her advantage. So I would not imagine where on earth she was banking, or the APC was banking on getting votes to first, address the 35,000 that was pending, and then put, a victory number on top of that. So for us, it's as good as waste of time, but certainly because it is sub judice, we'll leave it until that.
Right. Well, let's move away from the court case. And I wonder if there is anything that you see that might be wrong in INEC's actions and the way the commission reacted.
Oh, certainly. INEC is culpable. I did mention this earlier. We are still shocked as to why INEC in the first place will play all the gimmick that characterized the election from the first poll that we went. It was a clear election. We've seen in this country political parties winning with 2,000, 1,500. So even the margin that we gave was enough for Ahmadu Fintiri to be declared as winner of that election in the first poll. But why INEC did what it did leaves much to be desired. But then again, if you look at the circumstances that characterize even the pronouncement or the declaration by the REC, you would see why he came on a piece of paper and read in less than a minute, and he was on his way out. Abated and supported by security services that were all there. The commissioner of police was there. The director of SSS was there. And of course, the commandant of the civil defense, they were all seated there. So it leaves much to be desired in that kind of brazen attempt to rob people. That level of impunity leaves much. It's still frightening.
But it's important to point out, though, I mean, even though a lot of people would agree with what you're saying, but I think it's important to point out that some action has been taken. The Inspector General of Police has taken action against the commissioner, but INEC also likely to bring its own case, I say likely because it hasn't happened, against the resident electoral commissioner for this brazen violation of the law. But is that an important step for INEC to take in order to redeem its image and show that it has zero tolerance for this sort of thing?
Well, if you read the papers today and the commentary by Nigerians since that development yesterday, you would have seen that INEC has lost every other thing that they had with regards to image and honor. Of course, the election generally of 2023 left INEC with a lot of issues in its integrity. Some believe there was some modicum of honor left in the commission. But with what we saw yesterday, I doubt if there's any atom of honor around the electoral umpire that is left. It has completely smeared its own honor. And it has smeared it in a way that it would hardly do anything now to regain or redeem its image. Because as far as Nigerians are concerned, the electoral umpire and indeed the head of the commission, Professor Mahmoud, lacked the integrity to continue to superintend on our electoral umpire. But as it would please you, and as you know, the APC has been known for what it has done. Nigerians are watching. We only hope we will have light at the end of the tunnel in some ways, but certainly we have lost hope completely in the electoral umpire. There's nothing left in INEC to tell Nigerians, and there's no step or measure they could take going forward to redeem its image. It has already lost it. And an umpire like INEC would be expected to have the confidence of Nigeria, or any other country for that it manages election for Nigerians for that country to remain with it. So it's sad. I'm just ashamed, honestly, as a Nigerian, what the international community will interpret Nigeria as with this sad and disappointing outcome.
Well, just returning to the APC, I mean, they have said that there is a backstory to all of this, which will emerge after investigations have been given. I mean, we know that Aishatu Binanu gave an acceptance speech based on what everybody believes is a statutory falsehood. We also know that some have suggested in your party that the things she did smacked of desperation to become governor of Adamawa State, the first female one at that, and so on and so forth. But they're saying that there is a story that is yet to emerge, which may show the hand of the PDP, which was the incumbent power in Adamawa State in any case, behind some of the things that have happened.
To start with, you see the speech she read, the acceptance speech, was not coherent. You could see how she struggled to read even a prepared speech as acceptance speech. And the wordings were scripted in a way to leverage and to blackmail certain quarters into accepting that brazen coup in the broad daylight.
Yeah, but could this also be that she, according to what they're saying, they were trying to preempt something from happening, some kind of either a suspicion or evidence they had or whatever?
Mr. Charles, if they had their way...
That they were trying to preempt something that the PDP was trying to do there at that stage?
No, instead, what she was trying to do was to test the waters. If Adamawa people had accepted or did not come in the manner they did to resist that attempt at, stealing their mandate, by now we would have had Aisha, she would have remained. By now she would have taken her certificate of return. And it would have been with that speed of light to give her. Because the entire conspiracy in the days ahead will be blown open, and you will then see the level of disgust in our electoral system. But certainly APC knows that it has explanation to give to Nigerians in years to come as to why that was allowed in 21st century Nigeria.
Right, and your sense is that the APC is a co-conspirator in this attempt to subvert the electoral process?
Clearly, by now Aisha should have been in jail herself.